If you're interested in what's going on with the people at that apartment, I bet they haven't thought to turn off that TV yet, and I could spy inside.
You
Yeah.
could.
That would be amazing.
Get to my computer and jack in however I know to access technocratic technology. I like to imagine I'm doing the computer equivalent of that thing where you had to use the Captain Crunch whistle in old phones to get free calls.
Okay.
Where
Okay.
I've got a speaker that I connect to a payphone that I dial to a certain number.
It's the 90s. You're absolutely using dial-up at this point. During the dial tone sounds, you play your little Captain Crunch whistle, and the screen, the CRT monitor that takes up one whole seat in the back, flickers to life into static with a series of enhancements by your computer software. The static sort of fades away into the background, and you can see a couch in a dimly lit apartment. Looks not necessarily run down, but certainly cheap. There is a tired looking blonde girl, sandy brown hair, and she is staring right at the camera. Take 1 point of paradox. This is vulgar.
Could I spend 2 willpower to force it?
You could, or you could just make it a ritual and take another turn.
Then I would much prefer to make it a ritual.
Not sure what the technocratic equivalent is. I'm still working on figuring out the basics.
I'd call that an
But-
extended procedure.
Yeah. And it's an extended magical effect, is what you're going for. Basically, you can keep rolling until you botch. 2 successes. That will bring it clearer and more into frame. I think I see the limiting factor here, is that you can keep rolling as much as you want, but if you botch, then you're going to get a shit ton of paradox. It activates, and you clear up the screen, and you can see inside. There is Sabrina, sitting there staring at the TV. She looks tired.
You wanted to know more about her. There she is.
Does this thing have audio too?
I don't know. Does it?
Probably, yeah. You
I
don't
don't-
hear anything from it, though.
Yeah, she appears to be quietly watching TV. So, can I tell what
You
she's
hear it.
watching?
You hear a slight hiss in the background. It appears she's watching static.
Tell if she's
Interesting
breathing
choice.
just by watching her.
You can't quite tell.
That's fine. I intentionally call John in character the detective so that I never accidentally slip up and say my name in place of his.
John, you're pretty sure she's breathing. But looking around the rest of the room, there's a blood stain on the couch. There's some trash around the place. There's a pizza box. Some bottles of soda. An older Chinese woman comes in through the door, comes over to sit on the couch. You hear thank you, cunty.
Christ.
Which one says
And
that?
Sabrina, the teenager, will say, thank you, cunty, and get up, stretch, and leave the room.
Watching for something?
I convinced them that the return of their friends was essentially dependent on this television being on, remember?
Ah, yes.
As reality deviants, they'll stick to whatever superstition they find attractive. I gave them one that merely benefits us.
I'll move.
When anything's possible. So they appear to be watching the static 24 hours a day.
I'll go get us some food from that generic restaurant around the corner if you'll keep watching. I'll see if I can look at their phone records next, but I know you've got a sharp eye, detective. See what you can spot.
On it. I love generic restaurant.
Gene and Rick pizza. Okay.
Oh my god, yes.
As Betsy comes back with Gene and Rick pizza, you have deduced that the older woman is not wearing an old woman's clothes. It seems like she's wearing not quite something that Sabrina would wear, but somebody maybe 10 years older.
Okay.
They seem ill-fitting, too.
Interesting.
When Betsy gets back, brings in the pizza, the windows start steaming up a little bit. and you hear an argument start to break out. In the distance, you can hear, "Oh my god, Judas. You did what? Oh my god." The little old lady will stand up, bolt upright, and run off screen. You hear her shouting, "What happened? Judas, what happened?" "I made sure we never lose him again." What does that mean? What does that mean, Judas?" "It means that he is with us always. Now here, drink." And you hear that higher pitched, younger voice saying, "Judas ate him! Ate Theseus! Drank him dry! He's nothing but ashes!" And then there is just a high pitched wail that goes on for 3 or 4 minutes.
Damn.
You'd think you'd realize that was coming if you're working with Judas Iscariot, right?
The wailing changes pitch. There's a thump, a grunt, and the younger voice shouting, "Oh my god!" And red.
Oh.
Red everywhere. The walls, the ceiling, and it is dripping down the screen. "Oh my god, Judas!"
John's gonna vomit.
Is there any way for me to be recording this?
You can start recording now.
I begin.
"Sabrina, an inch to the right, and she would have got my heart. If you want to see girls again, then you are going to need to work with me. We don't need Theseus anymore. And in absence of the twins, I can provide." "I don't know," she says. There's a short gasp. "There you go. Feels better?" "Yes, it does. I trust you, Judas. It's gonna be alright?" "Of course. Now, I think we can turn the TV off. You can't watch it all the time anyway, and you are tired." "What if they show up and I'm not there and it's not on?" "I'll sit while you rest. Don't worry." "Thanks, Judas." There's some footsteps, the door opening and closing. Judas walks into frame, sits down on the couch, picks up the remote, and turns the TV off. The feed cuts out.
I should have been recording from the start. Holy shit. I run the footage back to the beginning of the recording.
He said, "An inch to the right, and she would have got my heart."
Yep. If you want to see the girls again, then you're gonna have to work with me.
That's some pretty conclusive fucking heading there. Why was he so obsessed with getting that one back only to fucking kill him?
I don't know. Can I look at the scant information I have on vampires to see if there's any reference that would make sense with that?
You know that in the Tale of Dracula, Renfield became obsessed with someone after drinking their blood. It's implied that they might become immortal.
That would explain how he's really Judas Iscariot. But then how could he have done whatever he did to destroy Theseus? I wish I could say the Technocracy has a lot of information on vampires, detective. But the truth is, we don't. I will hand the detective all the paperwork I do have.
It's not a lot. There are basically two factions of vampires. There's the ones who run around and act like monsters, and the ones who keep to themselves. They have rudimentary mind control that doesn't work on agents. They tend to be pretty political with one another. But again, they are self-cleaning.
I didn't think of this till just I got the 3rd rank in Prime. Can I just make sun radiation just fucking ash them?
That would be forces.
Forces. Oh,
The sun is beginning to set. As you head to the park, we will begin game next time with Betsy and John showing up to meet Dick properly. GG, everybody. Thank you for playing Rose City at Twilight.